Well, what do you guys reckon? Moreton Island, 44 kilometres long, 13 kilometres wide, made of sand. It is paradise. One of my favourites, probably my favourite island. And I thought, because I've been here about 8 times now, thought I'd give you a bit of a TJ tips video. Some of the stuff I know about the island might help you guys plan your own trip, or maybe motivate you to come back. It's a pretty cool spot. So yeah, let's go through it. At the start, what are you going to need to get to Moreton Island? If you're going to camp here, you're going to need camping permits, which I assume you're going to come for more than one day. It's quite a mission to get here on the ferry. And you're going to need your ferry ticket, which is, we catch the MyMedEquip ferry across, which is a vehicle barge, and I probably recommend you book your vehicle permits when you do that ticket as well. So the prices can vary depending on time of year and the length of your vehicle. I'm the second step up, so my return ticket at this time of year, it's April school holidays, was $346 return from memory. Vehicle permits for a month, $56 I think, and then we had $26 in camping permit. Great spot. It's not as many people here because it's harder to get here, so it's one thing that makes Moreton a little bit different. It's really cool actually. That MyMedEquip ferry leaves from the port of Brisbane, Howard-Smith Drive, and you've got to get there about at least half an hour before your departure time. Remember that, guys. So then the next step, once you're on the barge, highly recommend you let your tyres down while you're on the barge. The usual recommendation is somewhere between 15 and 20 PSI. If you don't have a gauge, just try and get them half flat. If you're just trying to increase that tyre length, like an army track or like an excavator, you know? So it kind of depends on the weight of your car, really. But yeah, 15, 20 PSI. Do that on the barge before you come off because there are no roads here. It's straight onto the sand. Full drive. Get it engaged. Get ready for fun. Depending on what time of day you get to the island, you're probably going to want to go find your campsite, get set up and relax before you head off and explore. Online there's 10 different sites you can book. We just stayed at the one beside Beniwa. They're all available for purchase online. How's your swimming going?
Glorious.
No?
So nice.
Private beach. Probably should try and be self-sufficient, bring your own power, water and anything you need to eat. There are shops where you can buy stuff, but sort of as an emergency, they're pretty expensive. There are water taps on the island, but you'd probably want to boil it before you drink it. Bring all your own food, supplies, water, etc. All the campgrounds are listed online. I always recommend you want to stay out of the wind. Like right now, this is out of the wind, so you can see how it looks amazing because there's no wind on it offshore. I know if you're booking ahead of time, very hard to figure that out, but chase the spots around the island to camp that don't have the wind and have a great time. Epic conditions if you can do that. Sort of the reason you can do that is because there's camps all around the island and every face. There's a few bin locations. There's bins at the Tangalooma Resort, right where you get off on the ferry, and Bulwer has a proper dump, I think, and bins and stuff like that if you need to get rid of your rubbish. A couple of different shop locations on the island, including Bulwer shops, I think that's Castaways, and then there's the Kurungal shops, which is the gutter bar, the pub and everything there. They're open usually between 9 and 4:30 I think at the moment, sometimes till 7 depending on time of year. So always a wicked spot to go and get fish and chips. They have good seafood there if you're into that. One thing that is a little different about Moreton to Fraser, say if you're used to that, is there's no kangaroos, no dingoes, there's no real animals to worry about here. Apparently inland there's some wild pigs, but I've never seen anything here at all. It's pretty safe regarding animals camping wise. You might have to deal with the odd goanna if you leave your rubbish out. If you do happen to run into some domestic dogs like pets, it's because there are residents on this island. You can live here and you can have a dog if you live here, but you're not allowed to bring your own dog to this national park. Only the dogs that live here are allowed here. If you see dogs, don't be too confused. Would be amazing to bring the dog though. Whew. Getting around Moreton, you need four-wheel drive and have your tyres down and you'll be fine. To be able to get around the outside on the beaches, it needs to be low tide. The tide's coming up at the moment, which means we're gonna have to take the inland tracks to get back to catch our barge this afternoon, but it's pretty important to get a tide chart or have it on your phone and just be ready to know when high tide's coming up or down. You might get stuck at one end if you're not too careful. But yeah, to be honest, the full driving is pretty basic here. Some of the inland tracks get pretty cut up if people are crisscrossing, so ground clearance helps, but I mean, yeah, it might get a little tricky if you're towing a trailer, but it's pretty easy here. It's nothing to be concerned about. Entirely too much about this, but I'm pretty sure you can actually hire four-wheel drives from Brisbane to come over here on the barge so you can get around the island on your own steam. What is there to do here? There's heaps to do here, including what it's famous for, dolphin feeding at the resort. You can actually pay to go and feed the dolphins at sunset every day, pretty much. They come in. Little trick, they tend to cut between the wrecks and the sand, so if you go swimming in the last few hours of the day, there's a good chance at some point you'll have the dolphins swim between you, up close and personal, hopefully. Pretty cool, like they just cruise. Apart from feeding the dolphins, Tangalooma actually has pretty cool like facilities, especially if you're at the resort. You can call up and do the night kayaking with like the LED lights at night around the wrecks. That looks pretty cool. I haven't actually done that. Sam's done it, he said it was amazing. So let's go through a list though of stuff to do around the entire island. There's the main lighthouse, the big lighthouse at the top of Cape Moreton. Actually has an information centre in there as well, I think. That's right near Cape Cliff. Yesterday Stevie and I, we actually went up to Cape Cliff, and eastern side of the island all the way to the top, as far as you can drive, you'll see these red rock formations, a little walkway going up between them. Really cool. You can get some wicked photos in there and go up on the headland, have a good look out. It's pretty cool. Yeah, good spot, good little spot to go see. I haven't done that before this trip. It's the first time I've done that. Other things to see, there's also Spitfire Creek, Blue Lagoon, Mirapool Lagoon. Blue Lagoon, actually, we've been there before and done the paddle boarding. Stevie was on there. It's pretty cool. There's Five Hills Lookout. We actually just did that like 10 minutes ago. It's really nice because this side of the island's offshore at the moment, so it looks incredible. Mount Tempest is the tallest mountain here. We did that at one point when we came.
See, there's the lighthouse over there that we saw.
That's quite the hike. Take your water if you're doing that. Take good shoes and water, but it's not too bad. Definitely worth it. Wicked views up there. Of course, there's the Tangalooma wrecks. You can kayak, snorkel, swim, dive, do everything around them. It's normally always offshore. It's a very protected bay, and it just looks incredible there. So when people talk about Moreton Island, they're thinking of Tangalooma and those wrecks. Just a little bit down from Tanga, you'll get the Bulwer shipwrecks. That's where you cut into the shops. Bulwer actually also has that like glamping. They're like permanent tent setup. We did that one time as well. Pretty cool. And the shops are there. You can get, I think you can get supplies there, fuel and water, firewood, ice, that sort of stuff. But it's kind of emergency prices, you know what I mean, because we're on an island, so everything's quite expensive. On the eastern side, if we whip around to the other side of the island, there is surf that whole way. Basically, if you're a surfer, you can surf over there. A little bit sharky if you ask me, but maybe the other boys actually, when we camped over the last time the boys did actually surf some pretty good waves. So there's also all the ruins. Across the whole island's got ruins, but on that side you get the Rouse Battery and a little walking track. We did that one point, and you get to go inside a few of the ruins and have a look. So yeah, you get a lot of World War II relics across the whole island, but they're the easiest ones to go see. You can basically swim anywhere on this island. The western side's obviously got no surf, so it's calmer and nicer and safer if you're not confident. Just north of us where we are now, we have North Point, which is another little surfing spot, and then Honeymoon Bay on the other side of that, which I've been to a few times. Pretty cool little caves to walk in and explore in there. Nice spot, easy walk. Just park at North Point and then walk over the hill. And then if you keep going, there's another spot called Champagne Pools. Keep going past the gutter bar, you have the oyster shop. Stevie actually got some oysters yesterday, said they're amazing. I'm not into oysters, so I didn't try, but. And then just a little bit further around the very base of the very southern end of the island, you have the sand dunes, which you might have heard of before. They're pretty famous. Bring a bodyboard, wax her up, go down there. Some incredible sand dunes. They're huge. I can actually see them. I'm pretty sure those are the dunes that I can see from home, all the way on the mainland. They're massive. So literally hard to even walk to the top. And I mean, those are just some of the main attractions here. Everything in between is an interesting, fun little drive. You get to see spots like this, like we're just having lunch here today, waiting for the barge. The whole island is incredible. You'll find cool spots daily, and you just find a nice spot to stop. It's wicked. There are a few emergency services on the island. It's only a little island, so we do have a fire station, apparently, and an ambulance station. The rangers are here full time, I'm pretty sure, looking after the place. And the police are here occasionally, but there's no police station, but they're here at the moment. Said hi to them earlier.
Hey, I know who that is.
Actually saw them on the way in. I think they're here a lot on school holiday time. But with that in mind, guys, the maximum speed limit on the island is 60 kilometers an hour. Obviously all normal road rules apply when you're on the beach. But if it's any less than that, it's normally signed. It's just like any normal driving, no special rules. Maybe go back to a few camping tips actually, now I remember. Bringing repellent, that's an important one. Because the sandflies get a little aggressive at night. Definitely want screens on your tent. You don't want to be sleeping out in the open here. There's no powered sites. I'm very lucky. I've got a pretty wicked setup now. I don't need power or water. I can carry water as well. And I think everyone knows I'm no good at fishing. Been told it's epic fishing here. There's a few green spots to look out for where you're not allowed to fish, but I'm pretty sure they're signed. But yeah, if you're a mad keen fisherman, just look up where you're not allowed to fish. But I think most of it's pretty sweet. And everyone goes on about how good it is. So. A little bit of a last minute video actually. I wasn't even going to film much this trip just because we're actually just here on our anniversary. Just come and chill out and have a good time, but I thought why not give you guys a little tips and tricks video because the weather's just mint. I think we fluked it again. I've had a few messages, people saying last week was horrible. So yeah, I always managed to fluke Moreton. I don't normally do this type of video, but if you want something similar like this for Fraser or something, or Double Island. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Catch you next episode. Got some cool stuff coming. Stay tuned and I'll see you then.